So I'll make a recording of this. I'll turn off the microphones of everyone just to have a quiet recording, so to speak, and because I might use it for YouTube. That would be great. So thank you so much for joining today in this morning meditation or this morning meeting or evening or night meeting, wherever you find yourself located in appearances. So I'm just great that you're here. I don't care about the time and the place. And so the most important thing is that you take time to relax deeply into your stillness. And whatever supports that is in the right direction, so to speak, is helping you to find that we cannot speak of, and because it is here, but we have to find it. And so today I want to start with a miracle prayer. This is from A Course in Miracles, and as the daily lesson, as it is practiced by some of us. It's like the daily lesson is a moment in which you take time to listen, to be still. And the prayer, you will discover it in a minute, is written from your Christ mind. It's literally like your Christ mind speaking to you. And what is a Christ mind? Your Christ mind is your true self speaking to you, and which is great. It's a great opportunity to listen to what it has to say. And so that's what I'm using. Then after that, somebody wants to have some attention, so to speak. We're going to listen to a part of a tape of Joel Goldsmith. And it's a tape that is not on YouTube, at least not in my catalog. But I want to share it with you, and it will be on YouTube today. And not that YouTube is that important. No, see, all these things that I'm sharing with you, it would mean nothing if you don't hear it, or if you don't bring it in and allow it to affect you. And actually, it's by your acceptance and by your recognition that it can mean anything. Otherwise, it would just be words or a voice, or like that, empty shell, so to speak. But your experience in this is everything that matters. So that's another part that comes in. Certainly we will spend some time in quiet too, because everything that comes to us is received within you. Now I understand that being still is one of the hardest things for say us, being so long accustomed to the human way of thinking and believing that mind has to teach you something, or mind has to give you something. And say in the process of being in the process of an undoing of your mind, valuation, being in a process of the undoing of that, say taking back your investment out of it, and then discovering that there's a place in you where it's absolutely perfectly, beautifully quiet, in which you actually start to communicate with every aspect of creation, and which is a possibility of you recognizing that and coming into that experience right now. So this is why we come together too. It's like in the recognition of that light that is available. If you put aside your ideas, put aside your concerns, you're getting everything out of the way, so to speak, and come with wholly open and empty hands, you will be able to receive in a way that you you know it's a different order, it's a different energy, it's a different experience altogether. So all these activities that we do is pointed to that, and whatever needs to be undone will be undone, but not by you, not even that, because you taught yourself mind, so to speak, you taught yourself mind, and so you literally believed yourself to be a teacher. You taught yourself all this. And now the undoing needs to happen not by you. So it's more like the undoing takes place by you allowing more and more light to come into your mind and shine all the darkness away. That's, in a nutshell, I can say. It's like, well, it's not really in a nutshell. It's like this is a nut cracked open where the light shines through. So that is what's occurring to you. Slowly but certainly there's a break in the fabric of that what you try to hold together as a human being. Like you want to try to hold it together, otherwise it will fall apart. If you don't support it continuously, it doesn't have a reason to exist. It literally, naturally falls apart because it is not. It is nothing. But anyway, so the prayer, the miracle prayer, then becomes an invitation to a moment, a shift from the horizontal into the vertical plane, so to speak. So it's like suddenly there's a lifting up into the vertical consciousness, if you want. It lifts you out of your what should we call this? It lifts you out of this dense, heavy, tired, depressed, anxious, all of that. It lifts you out of that suddenly, for no reason, not by your conscious doing, but by it's literally given to you. Well, these moments are going to be more convincing than any kind of book that is written about it. I can tell you that, speaking from deep experience myself. It's like, well, that you want more of that. And however you can achieve that, or there's a path that helps you with that. So this miracle prayer is made for it, to have an experience that is beyond your frame of reference, and still completely connected with the core of your being, and that's really lovely. So I'm going to read that, and then we will be quiet for a moment. I play a bit of a song, and then we start listening to Joel for 15 minutes or so, and tape 266, Spiritual Supply it's called. It's a really great tape, so you will discover it. Better put up my glasses. I was wondering what was first. I'm a bit slow today. I started my day early. I was chatting at 4 o'clock in the morning with Joshua, and I shouldn't have watched my telephone, but I forgot not to look at it. So once I look at the phone for whatever it is, I can't sleep anymore. I don't know how that is for you. So anyway, so we had a great moment together, and I love that. And but now I feel it in my system. Like, okay, I have to keep my attention right here. So here's the miracle prayer. Let me remember that there is no sin. Sin is the only thought that makes the goal of God seem unattainable. What else could blind us to the obvious and make the strange and the distorted seem more clear? What else but sin engenders our attacks? What else but sin could be the source of guilt, demanding punishment and suffering? And what but sin could be the source of fear, obscuring God's creation, giving love the attributes of fear and of attack? Okay, so here's the prayer. Father, I would not be insane today. I would not be afraid of love, nor seek for refuge in its opposite. For love can have no opposite. You are the source of everything there is, and everything that is remains with you, and you with it. Father, I would not be insane today. I would not be afraid of love, nor seek for refuge in its opposite. For love can have no opposite. You are the source of everything there is, and everything that is remains with you, and you with it. So we will be quiet for a couple of minutes. All right. That was the first part of the tape. I got lost in it. I loved it. So thank you so much for putting up with me and with Joel in this early morning hour, kind of, and or night. So bringing that back to ourselves in this meeting, like in this moment together, it is great to follow Joel in his story about how he found I, so to speak, and that in that he found the idea of supply too. It's like it's not has nothing to do with form in that sense, but it has to do with where do I find myself. See, on these 40 days that we are, it's like in the meditation, in the stillness, in the coming to the place where you actually can recognize yourself. Like Joel says too, it is like you cannot read it in a book. You cannot, nobody can tell you what it is, but you find out yourself. And whatever words work for you, like whatever teaching is working for you, go for that. So that was a bit in line with the early morning conversation I had with some of us. It's like when it resonates with you, when it really gets you, when it moves you, when it's like, yes, oh, I'm so happy to hear this. Now, finally, I can hear what it says. And then you know, like, that's for me. And that's so great, because it is like, it is not set in stone what that has to be. It is not that you choose for a path and then that's it. No, it is, you know, it can change. Like whenever something is needed for you, it will come into your life and suddenly you discover, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's right here. And so I had this, for instance, last year with the urtext of A Course in Miracles. Like I did study A Course in Miracles for many years, and I had great experiences with it. That's really wonderful. But then suddenly the urtext manuscripts of The Course in Miracles were put in book form in a way that was totally resonating with me. And I started to read it and record it and really go into it and discover so much new experiences for myself in it. And the same with Joel, like discovering the private 25 tapes and diving deeply into them and discovering something that is like valuable to me and gives me a deep experience of how to look at things or discover the new, so to speak, is all like everywhere there's pearls. And so when this pearl is delivered to you, you might as well receive it, you know, and take it in the sense of take it in, eat it and enjoy it and dance it and live it and accept it and work with it. So that's why it's interesting to read different books, not to skip from one path to the other, but more like there's a message here that you can receive, say, despite of the language it is spoken in, or how it's written, or how it's said, or no, there's, like with Joel, for instance, I had to get used to the way that Joel speaks. Like some of his talks, he first gives a whole delivery, so to speak, of a human episode. And then suddenly he comes with the truth, so to speak, that really kicks in then at a certain point. So it's like you have to get used to the way that it is delivered. And some will work for you and some won't. When it doesn't resonate, that's great. It doesn't have to. That's fine. So here is something else. Suddenly you see like, oh my God, this is my language. I love to receive this. I really can work with this. It touches me in a place like it is so, say, nurturing to me. Well, use it then and apply it, and accept it and work with it. So this is what I wanted to say after listening to Joel. So I was actually waiting for the moment that he would sink into the I, and it took a moment, which is great too. It doesn't matter. All right, so I have one song that is different too. I want to share that with you. It is an interesting song to me. I don't know exactly why, but it is different, and I want to share it with you. So here we go. And that will be the finale of this meeting. Wait.